pray that for those who were killed, who were murdered yesterday, for their families, and we'll also pray for the conversion of the people who did. And of course any of our own deceased that we're mindful of. So that's on page 477. We'll recite the hymn together. From that. So the first bit of it is in these little envelopes, and there'll be one envelope between 3 or 4 people. There are fluoro yellowy green pieces of paper, which happens to be the Latin name of one of the Vatican II documents, and then on orange bits of paper are the English title for the same document. So the first task is simply to do your best to match the Latin with the English.
That is something of the history.
Available for formation on Catholic social teachings with a Franciscan perspective, and it's sort of like the first of its kind basically, certainly in New Zealand anyway. Having done Catholic social teachings, a paper for religious teachers under CTI, I sort of thought it would be really great if we could have something like this for Franciscans. It consists, there's not much that I've written. I've written the introduction and the conclusions of all of them, and Father Matthew and I have done the introduction together. But it consists of 4 units: human dignity, common good, subsidiarity and solidarity, and there are 3 units to each one of those topics, making 12 topics altogether. And you could do 1 unit in a night's formation, hopefully. So this is going into production hopefully the week after next, and it will be available for formation. So if any of you are formators here, you might like to look at it, and if you are really keen and interested, it's envisaged that there should be 1 copy for each member as you're going through it. We're not going to do the whole booklet in 1 year. I've planned it for over a 3-year period, as Philip asked us to do. So we're doing this year the human dignity, next year common good and subsidiarity, and the year 3 we're doing solidarity, because we don't want to overload everybody with Catholic social teachings, as interesting as it is. It's got a high Franciscan input, as well as the Popes. It's got a little piece on each one. It's got a Franciscan prayer. It's got an introduction to give you an overview. It's got what the Church teaches, and it's got a little example from a papal document which actually exemplifies this particular Catholic social teaching. And then it's got what Franciscan texts, and it's either a writing by Francis or Bonaventura or a modern Franciscan, and then it winds up with questions to ask at the end of the session and a little reflection, which Philip thought that it would be really wise for us to have the reflection, so that all of the what you've been taking in will just all go into, very nicely with divine grace coming out as hopefully actions in Catholic social teaching. So there we are. If anybody would like to look at that after, and have it's not been, I'm working slowly through it, proofreading it, and so it's there, and it's a worthwhile teaching resource, I think.
What's the name of it?
What we're going to do is round about just over a quarter of an hour of basically silent reflection on what's on the cards. The second bit is I'm going to give you time to talk to each other in small groups. So these cards came out from Chios celebrating the 40 years. There's 9 of them, and they ask questions that come from our articles. And I think the questions go right to the heart of who we are and what we do as Franciscans. I'm going to ask that we do this just silently. I'll say that again, silently. I'm going to give you for 2 minutes per card. And the 2 minutes is important because the first part of it is you're answering the question and you're thinking about what you do. And then you're going to take that into the second part of the session when you're talking with other people, because you're going to help give ideas so that people come away with ideas about what they could be doing in their lives to be living their lives as really good Franciscans. Now I'm going to ask you though to be gentle on yourself. On these cards they have a scoring system. I think it's 1 to 5. In the words of a priest that spoke to me, you're being way too hard on yourself. I went and did reconciliation and he gave me 1 Our Father. I thought he was being way too easy on me. So be gentle on yourself. The important bit is the second bit, when you're talking with other people and they're talking about what they do.